everybody, Remi Sovran here from Sovran.com. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about shoulder stabilization, and I'm going to show you a little routine that can be used to develop shoulder stability, specifically in the posterior aspect of our shoulder. So when it comes to shoulder stability, what you often see is, in today's society, a lot of people tend to engage in a lot of flexion-based type of exercise. So whether that's a bench press or that's an overhead press, they're engaging that shoulder flexion a lot. And a lot of people tend to neglect any type of shoulder extension. They don't train in this type of range of motion here, where their arm is an extension. So as this gets neglected and people become dominant in these shoulder flexion-based types of exercises, muscular imbalances will develop. Specifically, you'll get this more development of the anterior side as opposed to the posterior. So as this dominance occurs, we tend to get these imbalances, and problems end up occurring over time. Specifically, if you're an athlete, especially a throwing athlete, or you're just someone working a job where you have to maybe lift something and put it on a shelf. Either way, as these imbalances develop, problems can occur and an injury can occur, specifically the rotator cuff, which is something that we want to avoid at all times. So it's important that we strengthen our posterior shoulder stabilizers and we learn to activate them properly. So it's important that we train that extension, arm extension position. And so for this little routine that I'm going to show you guys, it's going to be a arm extension with circumduction. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get into an athletic stance here. We're going to step out in front of the ball. So we have this ball up against the wall here, and we have our arm here in extension. So our feet are in good alignment. Good athletic stance, knees slightly bent. So we're bracing our abs here, looking forward. Now what we're going to do is apply pressure into the ball. So by applying pressure into the ball, now our stabilizers are already turned on, they're activated, and they're working to kind of stabilize that posterior aspect of the shoulder. But all we're going to do now is engage in circumduction. So we're going to rotate internally for a number of repetitions while we're applying pressure into the ball. So what this does, it's going to activate various muscles, specifically our stabilizers, and different activations. It's going to create different activation patterns. We're activating the fibers in different ways because we're creating that circular motion. And at the same time, we can go externally now. So now we're activating them in a different way. So we're activating the fibers in a different way by going externally in this rotation, all while we're applying pressure to the ball. So when we're engaging in that circumduction, and we have that extension occurring, we're activating our rotator cuff muscles, our lats, we're activating our teres major, which all are important stabilizers for the shoulder. At the same time, as we engage in that rotation internally or externally, we're creating different activation patterns, which we kind of mimic, more functional routines. But at the same time, by creating those activation patterns, creating an overall stabilization to the joint as we're moving those different directions. So we're responding to a movement where we're moving in a certain motion to kind of activate those fibers and stabilize the shoulder joint. So at the same time, guys, you can take this type of exercise and you can apply it to a sport-specific scenario. So if you think about it, if you think basketball, for instance, when you're in a basketball defensive position, let's say you're trying to block somebody or you're trying to battle for positioning, you're in a good proximal, lower center of gravity, athletic stance, and so you have your arms out trying to block somebody. We're mimicking that defensive position now. So we're trying to position ourselves to maybe get a rebound or whatever it may be. So by pushing into the ball, creating those different rotational patterns, we're mimicking a defensive position of basketball, which could make this exercise very functional and applicable to the sport of basketball. But at the same time, this little routine can also be beneficial to anyone that may have had previous shoulder issues, whether you're an athlete or just an individual, or it could just be beneficial to someone that is kind of learning to activate and develop stabilization to the posterior shoulder. So you can maybe even apply this to other sports as a prehab or activation routine, specifically maybe in baseball or hockey or whatever it may be. So guys, that's just kind of a little routine that I wanted to show you in terms of developing posterior kind of shoulder stabilization. Just key things is making sure you're in a good athletic stance, you have an arm extension, feet are in good alignment, core brace, you're pushing into the ball, and then you're rotating internally and externally. So you can go external to internal or internal to external. You can kind of change it up how you'd like. and kind of develop different stabilization patterns and different kind of rep schemes or whatever it may be. So guys, that's it for today's video. That's all I kind of wanted to talk about. This is one way we can kind of address any kind of imbalances or any type of individuals that may have poor stabilization of the shoulder and they may have a weakness in the rotator cuff or a history of rotator cuff problems. So we develop stabilization because we're pushing on the ball, creating those rotational patterns, which makes it a little more functional. And it's a way to kind of just strengthen the overall shoulder, provide stability to the joint. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if there's any kind of specific videos or anything you want me to specifically talk about, please leave a comment below. If you enjoy this little routine, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe. Okay guys, I wish you guys all the best and a successful, productive day. Take care.